Let's stick with the private market and what it can tell us about the state of clean tech. No one's talking about clean tech in the IPO space. Pippa Stevens is here with that story, though. Pippa, do tell.
Yeah, so if you look at stock performance alone, you might think that investors have lost all interest in clean energy. But in private markets, there's actually it is attracting billions of dollars. Climate-focused funds have raised $47 billion this year. That's up 20% from last year and just below 2022's record level, according to data from Sightline Climate, with much of that driven by infrastructure funds. That said, deployment has slowed. There's now $86 billion in dry powder as investors become more selective on what they're backing. Additionally, while there's capital available at the earliest and latest stages, the missing middle, or the capital required to help companies scale that aren't ready to be public, remains absent in what Sightline Climate says is leaving a critical funding void in the climate tech innovation ecosystem, particularly for scaling breakthrough technologies. Now, Mike Collier from Weaver told me that large public energy companies are one source that could fill the gap, given broad investment portfolios and deep technological know-how. And they're already playing a big role, with corporate VC representing about a third of clean tech funding. So the bottom line here is that money is still there, but no one's chasing unicorns and people are being a lot more selective.
You said something really interesting to me the other day, which is that we could actually see an LNG company in the IPO pipeline next year.
Yep, that's right. So Venture Global filed their S1 a couple weeks ago at this point. We don't yet have any indication on how much they're looking to raise, but they are already exporting. They have one facility, Calcasieu in Louisiana. I just want to make sure I had the name right.
Calcasieu.
They all have their own names. So they have Calcasieu in Louisiana, and then they're also working on Plaquemines, which is also down in Louisiana. And so that one could come online starting next year, not reaching full production quite yet, but so they are certainly a name to watch. And with all of this potential demand backing LNG, particularly when we look to Europe and what they're importing, as well as China, Japan, South Korea, all these countries are banking on U.S. gas, and so that could be one to watch next year.
Listen, we've been getting into the weeds, but whether it's SaaS versus, fintech companies, how about some energy names? I mean, that would be, something not on many people's prediction cards, I think. But Pippa, thanks. As always, we appreciate it. Pippa Stevens.